is How-Tos with Aaron.
Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to lay brick. Got a project right here where we're going to lay some, and I've got my mud ready to go right here. This is Type S mortar. Comes in a 75-pound bag. You mix it with 16 shovels of mud. You can also use a 5-gallon bucket, and it should be 4 buckets to 1 bag, and you can fill them up not quite all the way. So this is where I'm laying. I've got my chalk line right here, so it's going to keep me nice and straight. And so now the next thing that I want to be sure of is that I'm laying them level and to the right height. So what I've got here is this nice corner pole that's nice and straight. I've got it propped up on the top of my brick here, and then down on the wall I've got it propped up and put my level on top of it so that I could know that this level is completely perfect. So now if I measure from the top of this brick to my pole, I've got exactly 16.5 inches. So that'll mean when I lay my first brick here, I need to be able to measure 16.5 from the top of the brick. But before I do that, I want to know if I'm laying the brick at a whole or half brick and how it's going to work out. So let's measure that out real quick. So the brick, when you add your mortar joint, comes to 8 inches off of 1 brick. And you can see on the tape measure we have the red marks that are on 16 inches. So you can see where it goes from 32 to 48, 16 inches. And it's like that on the entire tape measure. So I'm just going to look right down here. Makes your math easy. I've got a red mark right here at 128. So if I add 8 inches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, at 136. So my first brick here is going to be a whole brick, like that. But if it was 4 inches smaller or shorter, I'd have to lay it this way. And if it was 3 inches smaller, I'd have to cut 1 inch off the brick. You get the idea. So, but now I know that when I lay my first brick over here, it's going to be a whole brick. So let's get an idea of what the height's looking like. Ooh. I'm at 16 inches right there already. I wanted 16.5 and I don't even have any mud under this thing. So what I'm gonna need to do is, the concrete is already here. There's nothing I can do about that. One option would be to cut the brick to the perfect height, but I'm just a 1/2 inch off. So if I just try to make it as tight as I can, within a few courses I'll be able to catch it up and get it on track with being level. And so with brickwork, sometimes you have to work things out like that. So let's get this first course going. So the first thing is I'm going to need to spread my mud. So I've got it nice and just pure mud. A little sticky and just straight up mud. So I'm going to kind of scoop it from the side there, get it kind of rolled up on this side, and then kind of standing backwards from where I'm going, I'm going to spread the mud from left to right, because I'm going to lay left to right since I'm right-handed. And I'm just going to start up and kind of throw it back. Just like that. And I've got my mud nice and close. I don't want to waste a lot of time walking around. More right there. Making sure I don't cover up my line. Gonna keep it a little thin down this way because I know it's gonna be low, or that the concrete's high. So with brickwork, you want to do each step the whole way. I don't want to put mud, lay one brick, mud, one brick. I want to do mud the whole way and then brick the whole way. So after you get the mud spread out like that, you want to even it out by dipping your trowel into it at an angle and then coming back, pushing it up and down like this. Now it's spread out nice and even and smooth and perfectly to the edges. Now I'm ready to get some brick ready for myself. So I'm going to spread brick out so that they're ready for me. Great job for a helper if you have one. It's good to keep your trowel clean by whacking it. Get a little mud on the tip here. I'm going to butter this brick so that there's a joint in between. And I'm ready to lay. So what I'm going to do is scrape up this excess mud and butter my brick right here so that it's ready for the next brick. I don't have to waste time going back to the wheelbarrow. I got mud right there. Now I'll just keep going. If you don't have enough in the front, try getting it from the back. So you can tell when I'm laying it, I'm kind of standing, beside it and behind it, grabbing a brick with my left hand, getting the back in, and then pushing the front down. And I can feel with my palm that these are flush. And then I just try to keep the next one level, scrape and go. Alright, on this last one, I'm going to butter the other end. Perfect fit. Like I said, a brick with a joint should be 8 inches. One joint should be 3/8 of an inch wide. Now I'm just going to make sure this one is down about as much as I can stand. And since I have this wall kind of in the way, it makes it tougher to use a string. So I'm going to just have to use my level for now until I get up above that little wall. So we know it's not going to be level, but I can still make it flat as I'm doing what I can to get things level as I come up. Not too bad. Now I also want to make sure it stayed nice and flat on the front. Kick these guys out a little bit. put these ones in. And I'm looking pretty good. And another good thing that I can do when I'm in a situation where I can't use a string, it could also be if my wall is on a curve and a string is not an option, is to spot brick. So let's get one at the beginning. Okay, I've got that one at the right height. Lay my level out. Now I know it can reach about that far. Got some mud. Putting it right on top of this joint. This is called a half bond, so the bricks are going to be right on top of the middle where the joint is. I'll go ahead and lay my one brick. Now let's see how level this is. Looks like it needs to come down a little, no surprise. Got room to go down a little more. So it's not perfectly level yet, but I'm going to get it there little by little so that it's not noticeable when you look at it. So I'm just going more like a 1/4 inch this time, and in just a few courses I'll be level. And so now I have something flat from here to there. And if I wanted to, I could set up my string down here and be able to pin it down on this brick and lay from here to there and fill in the gap. Also, if I was a little taller, I would take my level and make this one plumb so that I've got a point A and a point B that are good, and then I can just fill in the middle and make it right with either a string or a level. Same thing down this way. I'll just spot another brick to the end. So this is going to be a double wall, so there'll be another brick behind it. Let's go ahead and lay one of those right here. And I'm just going to use my first wall to show me the height that the back wall needs to be. Just like that. So before I finish the next course here, I'm going to lay the entire back course. And right here where it is going to be a half a brick, I'm going to turn it like that. And then I'll just keep going up. Notice I'm putting them all with the face on the outside, so it's nice and fast and easy. So I'm just laying it with my eyes in my hand and not wasting too much time sitting here playing around with it. Lay it down, get it about right. You can always make it perfect with your level. So the space back here, you want to have about what you can fit your finger in between the two courses. You can double check it by a brick this way, and it should be the width of a brick. Alright, back course is done. So since I've got all of this concrete right here, I'm going to put in what's called weep holes. Got a tuck pointer. So a weep hole is just a hole where any water that gets behind this wall, coming down from it or anywhere, has a way to escape. So I'm just going to pick a few spots to dig out the mortar all the way from the front to the back. So that any water has somewhere to get out. Let's do one about every 4 feet. So this mud will set up a little bit. I can already feel that it's starting to get a little hard. So I want to pay attention to that and make sure that I use my joiner on it before it gets too hard. But by tomorrow it'll be strong enough where I could walk on it. The color will still change for a couple weeks and cure out even more just as time and years goes by. But for the most part, a couple weeks it'll cure. Alright, I'm ready for the next course. So I've got my string here. Let's go ahead and spot this last brick on the end here. I know I'm still high, so again, I'm just going to about a 1/4 inch joint. And let's give myself a little more room with one more brick. All right. Now I've got my string. Just gonna wrap it around a couple times on the end here and put it right on top of where I want it to be, with a few other bricks to give it some weight to help hold it in place. Same thing down here, just a little trickier situation. Want to get it about as tight as I can get. Now notice it's a little tough to get it in the right spot. So I'm going to use a line clip to help me out. Just going to clip on the string. Now with another brick, hold it in place. Now I've got my string. And check this out. The brick we spotted in the middle, the string is going right along that edge. So that's a great sign. Happy about that. Now to spread some more and to lay these bricks up. Now you can notice when I do it on top of this brick, I'm making sure mud is covering the entire brick and going all the way to the edge. Now I'll take my trowel and kind of cut off some of the excess, keep things clean. Alright, now for some brick in place. So I'm going to kind of grab some from some different spots to make sure my wall looks nice and blended. Ready to lay. Now I can just lay it right to the line, still from the back to the front, and right to my line. So I'm making sure I stay right on top of the middle of that joint. It's also important to keep it level front to back, and I can just feel that with my hand. Every now and then you can check it with a little torpedo level and make sure you're doing good. Nice fit. And there we go. I don't even have to put a level on it because I already did that when I spotted the brick. And everything is perfect with the string. There we go. That's how I do it, and that's how you can do it. Check out my channel for other good videos about how to do all kinds of stuff. Be blessed.